Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up for you. The world is going crypto, XRP getting scarce, Shane Ellis theory in slow motion until it isn't. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $4.09 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 1.1%. And obviously, you can hear that I am pausing occasionally to clear my throat because I'm fighting some kind of virus thing, a viral thing. The doctor says it'll go away. Just give it a couple days. So that's what we're doing. But nonetheless, here we are, $4.09 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off 1.1. Bitcoin 114,000 plus, Ethereum 4,500 plus, XRP $2.99. Now we're off 1.9 on the 24. We're up 1.9 on the 7 day. Let's look at the range of price. We had a hell of a push over the weekend. Went up to 317, I believe it was, 315, 317, somewhere in that frame. And now we're ranging between 296 and 307. We will keep an eye on it. Look, we're in the middle of September. Congress is going to be working on the Clarity Act. They're already working on it now. We know it's usually the doldrums of August and September, but moving into October, November, December, I think is going to be very exciting for us, provided that Congress continues to push through and get this legislation done that's necessary. Let's start here. What a great little post here. The best investors in the world are really good at doing nothing for long periods of time. Boy, do we know a lot about that as an XRP family, right? Well, now that fundamental news is happening, and listen, we're going to look at some stuff. It's happening all over the world, and there's a very, very special cooperation where you could see it happening on the geopolitical stage too. So let's get into that. But first, I want to remind everybody the Rex Osprey XRP ETF, spot ETF, was set to launch on the 12th. I asked Grok because there was confusion about whether it was going to launch on the 12th or sometime this week. At that time, Grok said it was going live on the 12th. It looks like now it will be the 18th of this week when the first XRP spot ETF goes live. So that's super bullish when it does go live. I just want to make that correction, that revision. And I also wanted to note that it isn't going to be long once this goes live. The rest of them are going to go live, and the demand is going to be remarkable. And speaking of demand, Coinbase's XRP holdings plummet 90%, sparking speculation about institutional movements and impact on XRP liquidity. Well, I say, sounds like the Shane Ellis theory in slow motion until it isn't. XRP scarcity will become very real. And I believe that because you will always be able to get portions and fractions of it. Every XRP can be split up into a million drops, which is one of the reasons XRP was designed to be a very high price, right? So this is really exciting to me because I do believe it doesn't mean that Coinbase can't replenish their holdings. Obviously, they can. But I do believe at some point after we get legislation and Ripple gets the banking charter, the Federal Reserve master account, you will see a change in direction. And that will cause a change in price because I believe it will be a pivot towards catering to the institutional side and enterprise side rather than just the speculative retail side. And here we see Tokyo's gaming giant Gummies 371 profit surge despite gaming revenue crash. The secret? $17 million planned in XRP. Blockchain is saving the game. Gummy is very happy right now. And if everything goes through in the fundamental way with the legislation and everything we just discussed, I think Gummy's getting ready to be a lot happier than they are today. So, and all of us too, right? Pakistan's government, they have been like India. They allow it, they don't allow it, they change like the wind. It's unbelievable. But Pakistan's government welcomes global crypto companies to secure national licenses. So this does feel like that we are getting that one step closer to worldwide regulatory alignment, like Kyle Chase says here. I think that's actually spot on. And we got more news as well. But first, let's hear from Mike Novogratz about the current state of the SEC.
And this kind of crypto idea just keeps gaining momentum. It's interesting. The SEC chair about 2 weeks ago, Paul Atkins, said he wants all markets to move on chain.
There you go. He wants all markets to move on chain.
And that is such a radical departure from where we were.
It sure is. And it was a position that we were used to be in that Mike Novogratz supported. Yeah. Don't believe it. It's still true. London Stock Exchange launches a blockchain platform for private funds. Oh boy. You mean, let's get into it. London Stock Exchange Group has completed its first blockchain powered fundraising. Partnering with Microsoft, the exchange launched a system that tokenizes assets, handles issuance, trading, settlement, aimed at cutting cost and speeding settlement times. Oh, really? That's funny. Remember when I covered this back in 2022? The SEC voting to do exactly the same thing with the use of DLT.
The ever-increasing pace of advancements in technology, including distributed ledger technology, further shortening the standard settlement cycle in the near future may be both desirable and feasible. Indeed, some such efforts are already underway.
Today, we do have those technologies not only to shorten the settlement cycle to 1 day, but also to shorten key elements of what's called the clearing process, that which goes on before. Also, I think rather important, it requires 3 important steps in that clearing process, the back office plumbing process of affirmation, i.e. to fully automate transaction processing. Again, lowering risks in the system. Now, separately, the Commission is also issuing a robust request for comment around areas to consider with respect to potentially achieving same-day net settlement in the future. Net, because it's still netting positions, but possibly moving the money, moving the securities in the evening or end of day. The technology actually exists today, not just for same-day affirmation, confirmation, and allocations, but even for same-day settlement. How do commissioners vote on the division's recommendations to amend the Securities Exchange Act on clearing and settling?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, the recommendation is approved unanimously.
There you have it, all the way back in 2022. And this is why we cover stuff currently. And this is why we constantly go back and look at information that we found, because it's relevant today, even more relevant today because of what that set up. Remember, NASDAQ is moving to 24.5. Well, they didn't have the ability to do that until this was done and voted on in 2022. So you know what they've been working on for the last 3 years is getting that done. This is remarkable, ladies and gentlemen, because it also goes hand in hand with the SEC and CFTC putting out the joint statement allowing spot crypto trading of cryptocurrencies on registered U.S. exchanges like NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, the CME Group, and others. Yeah. NASDAQ files for Form 8K, confirming proposal to expand crypto benchmark from 5 to 9 digital assets, for which XRP is included. And the SEC decision deadline is expected November 2nd. Okay, just a little more than a month from now. Let's call it 7 weeks, 6-7 weeks, right? Then we have this, ladies and gentlemen. Smoke Dog is at it again. Proof of the XRP Ledger Price Oracle functionality revealed. Ripple is currently building an oracle to query data from existing bank ledgers. Chainlink isn't the only one in the oracle game, and there are over 300 financial partners with Ripple. So imagine them putting together an XRP Ledger Price Oracle, which makes a lot of sense. And look at this. I mean, this is not a guess. XRP Ledger Price Oracle. It's right here. You're talking about pairing everything with a synthetic pairing of XRP and the market. It's quite remarkable. This is the world taking shape, ladies and gentlemen. An oracle, for those that don't know, is a network that queries records, off-chain data, to be used in other blockchains. Oracles typically reward users for sharing their data and allowing it to be traded, sold to users on other blockchains. An oracle can itself be a blockchain, XYO network, or can be built into an existing blockchain. Ripple XRP is currently building an oracle that can query data from existing bank ledgers. Aha. Now that is where the money is, ladies and gentlemen. Pulling bank ledgers together with the new monetary system, the new digital on-chain economy. Isn't that the goal? Well, let's take a look here at price, ladies and gentlemen. Price right now at $3, $2.99, and we know we can see $2.95, $2.90, $2.85, and $2.80 are all support levels, and even as low as $2.65. He's shown us right here. This is one of the reasons, excuse me, that really hurt. That cough hurt. This is one of the reasons that I can feel confident, because I know that these levels are here, and I understand that we are ranging between 265 and 365 broadly, and things don't get exciting for me mentally until we get above that range. So this is all bouncing around in the same kind of channel of just noise and static for me. So another reason I've been able to be extremely bullish. But that I just wanted to share, and then I wanted to share this. When you zoom out, this is from Ripples in Wales. Shout out to him. Give him a follow. Crypto total market cap excluding the top 10, just excluding the top 10. You can see it the whole market essentially without the top 10, ready for a huge breakout here. That to me is one heck of a looking chart when you look at the macro. You know, I said this over the weekend: when in doubt, zoom out. And that's exactly what we're doing here today. So listen, it's not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.